first I'm going to tell about my family first. I'm J.D. Sanders' daughter from, he was from Tennessee. And my mother was Mississippi, but I was born down in Wabash, Arkansas, on Napa Pittman's farm, which was my grandfather, and I was raised in West Helena, partly in West Helena and Wabash. And so my son was born at Wabash, CeDell Davis. His dad is and John Davis, the grandmother, George Ann Watson. And so I am the mother of CeDell Davis. And this is my original home. And my mother and father, my daddy was named John Sam, mother named Idella. And so this is my home, and this is where I live in West Helena here, on 421 South Corinthian. And CeDell Davis, I have a picture of him when he was 17. And I just not remember what year it was taken, but it's back, you know, in the 40s. But I don't forget when it was. I'm awful proud of him. And so that was his talent, you know. When a little bitty kid, he started that music, you see. He'd tap my drum and he'd take a barrel hook, you know, a hook off a barrel, and he'd take them strings, tap my broom. And then he'd put 2 strings on it. And then he'd have it up outside on the porch beside the house picking it. Then I'd be looking for my broom, and he'd be done took it and made him some strings. I said, oh, the boy done got my broom and done tore it away the broom.
I am CeDell Davis. I live in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I'm a blues musician, a Delta blues musician. I was born in Helena, Arkansas, 1927, June the 9th. That's where I grew up at. But my mother still lives there, West Helena. And I went to Mississippi and lived with my cousin for 4 or 5 years. And that's where I started to learn to play music. And from that, I've been on the music side, playing the blues, singing Delta blues for a long time. I always liked the music, and we had one of those wind-up graphophone that you put a record on, and I'd always play that. My cousin them had one, so they'd always keep. And I'd always play that. My cousin them had one, so they'd always keep different blues out of the records there and make a good blues. They go to Tunica, Mississippi and buy it and bring it back and would play it, and that would inspire me, like Robert Nighthawk's records and Charlie Patton and Brown Lemon Jefferson and different other guys, Spike Brothers and whatnot. And there used to be a fella lived down, I say about maybe 7, 8 blocks down the little gravel road from where we lived. He had a guitar, his name was Jake Douglas, and he let me strum around on this guitar, you know, and I liked it, and, you know what I mean, and down through the years, and I got about 14 years of age, you know, I mean, I bought me a guitar, paid $2.50 for it. I had polio in 1936. And that's what caused me they couldn't play no more right-handed like you're supposed to. I had to turn the guitar around, play left-handed and learn all over again. And my mother had a silverware set there, and I kind of lifted one of her knives, you know, and found out I developed to play like that, so I still do it now. Couldn't use my right arm as well as I should. Couldn't use my fingers in my right hand good. So that caused me to turn the guitar around and use my left hand, and I couldn't note the guitar with my right hand, so that's what made me get the knife. You know, I found out I could slide up and down the string with it and mess around there, and then I developed to play that way. I play the heavy type guitar, bass and lead, and I'm gonna give you a little what I'm talking about. I call it like this. Sometimes I bring it straight across. Sometimes I carry it angular. Why I do it like that so I can get particular string that I need for my. Then I get them all if I want to. I can get just some of them. I can get just half of them. See, I test either one I want to. Same as you weigh with your finger. But only you can do more with your fingers than you can with a bar or knife, if you understand it. So, and this is my way, left-handed. 2 fingers, or one. Hell of a butter knife, that's all I use.
I'm Miss Davis, his wife, and I feel his music is the best there is. There's no better. And so I enjoy his music whenever he plays. Every time when I can go, I like to go because I love him. There's no better. I've heard other people play, but not like him. And I love his music. It's the best there is as far as I'm concerned. I think he's great. There isn't any better blues. I went over to hear him at a place out in the country that he was playing, and I had never heard him before. And when I heard him, the first thing I did was I got up and started dancing because I liked his music. It was really great to me. First time I ever heard him, I think he was playing Chicken and Hawk. I don't remember what he was playing, but
That it was.
and ever since I heard that song, that was mine. That's my song. Chicken and the Hawk. Well, it's special to me for one thing because I'm an Indian for one thing. There's a great meaning in that song, and the way he sings it brings it out more and makes it, there's a more feeling there.
I was a little bitty chicken, fell in love with that chicken hawk. I was a little bitty chicken, fell in love with a chicken hawk. He fell head over heels, baby, for that house we talk. pick me up, honky, baby, pick me up in the sky. I'm just a little bit of chicken, baby, and I don't know how to fly.
And then when I got 14, that's when I got my guitar and I learned to play it. Well, then I started playing out for public then, but I was a young boy. And the older guys that I played with, they had to get permission for me to come in the place. Well, after they found out I was a pretty good musician, well, they let me in, but I couldn't mix with the grown-ups. I had to stay in one spot. And wasn't no alcohol allowed to be served to me. Before I was playing, I had to sneak in, you know what I mean? The fellow called Jesse Mills, he lived in the same place where we lived. He's an excellent, good piano player. And he played for a lot of the giants around there. And by him, a friend of my family, well, he would, I'd sneak in there. He'd let me come on there and stand around the piano and listen at him play. And my cousin, they'd come in there, you know what I mean? She had 2 boys, they was grown. They'd get out when they got ready, or they was married. Okay, well, they'd want to run me away, make me go home. But he, tell them all let him stand around here. He may come to be a musician someday. And he let me stand around maybe 25 or 30 minutes, something like that. And then he'd tell me I had to cut out, make sure you go home now. I'm going home, But if I went to a store and there was somebody playing an instrument on the way, I had to stop and listen. I had to stop and listen. Then they'd ask me, say, well, why it taking you so long to come back with what we sent you after? I said, oh, well, the store was crowded. I wouldn't tell them that I'd stop listening to music. And my mother, she didn't want me to play around the house. They'd make too much noise. Well, I'd always get outside and play my guitar, on the wood pile. I'd either get out in the old back house I had back then. Sometimes she'd come out and run me out of there. Finally, I learned. And I went back to Mississippi on my own. Let's see. Okay. Come back round here, man, and Robert Nighthawk, man, when that later year, Robert Nighthawk was around there, and I bought me a new amplifier, a new guitar, and went there, and I said, well, I don't think I'm good enough to be on the air. I'll play with these guys like this. So I went and talked to them about it. I said, what can you play? I said, well, I play just about anything you play. And he said, well, we ain't gonna let you play on the air with us now. So I tell you what, do you wait, and then when we get off the air, you go around to my house, and then we'll see what can you do. Everything he named, I could play it. So he told me, said, well, okay, you got a job. So you can work with me and then work with the King Biscuit Boys. And it's on the radio, hell 9 times. Well, Robert Nighthawk, he's one of the best. He was one of the best. You know what I mean? He take the show everywhere he went. And he was one of the best. And well, after I come to be as good as I thought I was, well, he wanted me in his band. So in that way, since he was the best, well, I stuck with him. I played him 10 years. He was a slide guitar player, rail delta, slide guitar, blues player, and singer. Well, after I started playing with Robert Nighthawk, well, finally, we parted, from playing together, and I played in Mississippi and here in Arkansas, and I finally left with St. Louis, Missouri. See, I came back to Hellman, well, then I went back again to St. Louis, Missouri. Well, I went playing around there in Missouri with different guys, like around Washington, Missouri, Troy, Bowling Green, and Robertsonville, and just all around. And playing in East St. Louis a lot, and with different other guys. And from that, well, I just figured there wasn't no other way from it, but just stick with the music. All these buildings that you see here on the left and right hand side, they were not here when I was a kid growing up here around Hellman, West Hellman. Wasn't none of this here. All this is new. When I was a kid, I used to pick cotton all across here, out there for head cap and pull corn and pick peas and work out there for him. Another guy called Kelso. There's a work out there for him, planting greens and different stuff like that. And this is the old Spiro's Cafe. I used to live right down back of there on First and Claiborne, right there by the SO oil station used to be back there. See? All along here, that's why I used to walk along when I was a kid, and since I've been grown, you know, I mean, in my teenage days, and since I've been in my 20s, I straight up and down these streets here. This was once called, the colored people's named it White Town. And back there further was Colored Town. That was West Helena. All of this is West Helena, but distinguished between the two, they call one White Town, one Colored Town, see? So if you say, where you going? They say, well, I'm going to White Town. Well, they know that meant coming up in here into the stove. You know, what stove's down there too, but, you know, say, well, where was you last night? I was in Colored Town, I was on the line, see? Well, I mean, when you say you was on the line, they know where you was.
You know my nights have been so lonely. Ever since my baby been gone away. You know my nights have been so lonely. Ever since my baby been gone away. You know I've been sitting here so long, baby. I thought you just might come back home someday.
Wide open. Gambling joints wide open, Sundays and all other days, and policy rackets, and, you know, them are rackets, you know. All that was wide open. Everything, whatever you had the money for, it was there in Helena and West Helena. You could go any place and mostly buy some whiskey or whatnot, and plenty of rooming houses, and plenty of sawmills was there at that particular time. Many joints was open, honky-tonks as we call them back then. Many of them was open. It was a real good place to play for any musician that wanted to get us, you know what I mean, wanted to get started playing, maybe on radio with bands around there, and played at them joints in places like in Helena and all around West Helena and out, you know, on the farms and whatnot. It was a real good place for that. But it just never was a good place for me to live. I never did gain anything by fooling around there. See, the things that I wanted, it wasn't there. I wanted to become a good star, and I knew I couldn't be one for stage there. Nobody that'll make you a star. Nothing there.
You know my nights is so lonely. I think about you every day, every day.
Chicago was the place. Well, that's why I wanted to get, but I didn't have the opportunity. A different guy would tell me about it, you know what I mean, you get started recording, and you could get started and move it or whatever if you're good enough, you know what I mean. Well, that's what I figured that would have been the place for me, but somehow or another I just didn't make it. We're driving along now. We just came out Arkansas and Mississippi bridge there, and we're driving along now 61 north, and we're gonna go to Clayton, Mississippi. We're gonna find the house that I once grew up in a little bit and see if I want to show a while first learn to play a dilly bow, showing the face of the door that I made my first dilly bow and started into trying to learn to be a musician. Also, I'm going to show you if the houses still around, where some of the country breakdown houses where we used to play on Saturday nights and Sunday nights. Also, we're going to see some of the people that knew me back then when I was a kid growing up. Also, we're going to try to see if we can go to the school where I have attended when I was a kid. I lived over here something like 4 years. And we're going to check out the place and see what all can we find. See what's here and see what is not, all what's gone. Billy Bo's one string instrument upside the wall with a broom wire that came off a broom that was on brooms back in those days. You take one strand of wire and you take two nails and you wrap it around each end of the wire and then drive it in the wall and you tighten it with snuff ball or brick. Then you take a small vanilla cake flavor bottle and use as a slide. Play with one hand, use the other hand for a slide. And it makes pretty fine music. Something like the African type bowl. But anyway, it makes pretty good music. It's something to learn on, that's what started me. We just passed Clayton's Bradshaw service station, and we was on the little road blacktop that's going around to where the Hood's plantation where I used to live. Oh, I live with my cousin over here. Their names were Denwooders. I lived with them. I moved out in 1933. And I lived with them until 1936, the last of 1936. Because I had stayed 1 year down in Clarksdale, Mississippi with them. Well, my mother didn't have a husband at the time. Her and my father had separated, broken up. And she had two boys, which was that me and my brother, Willie. So she couldn't take care of folks, so she let my cousin, me. This track here was Illinois Central, and that's the first time that I had ridden a train from the south to the north there. That's the first train I rid going north with Illinois Central. And I've taken it 8 miles from here, a little place called Tunica, Mississippi. I didn't like the type of farm work that they did. See, now, I didn't mind the farm work, but the way they was doing the farm work. See, they work all the year, and then at the end of the year, they didn't get nothing out of anything, see? And I could understand that, see? And I told them then, when I was a small boy, that if I could make my living any other way but out there farming on, plantation, I think I would do it. Because I didn't like working for the other fellas too much. It was okay working for the other fellas if you could get paid, you see, but think about it. At the end of the year, not many times they say, well, we didn't clear anything out of our crop. And I said, well, I done worked all the year, where'd it go? See, that's what I didn't understand about it. So that would make me now, if it's my own farm, yeah, I like it. But somebody else's farm, I don't like that. 1942.
Oh, you came back?
I came back and lived right here with him. And used to be another little old one-room house right over there on that little gravel road right over there. And me and him lived in there for a while. Me and my brother. I don't know who live here now, but
This is the house right here?
this is the house right here. I don't know who live here now. I better ask him to see. Let me see who do live here.
What's that tree?
Mo's wife and daughter live. I want to see if this is him. Yeah, I know he died, but I wonder where do they live at?
They live, you have to go up here to Evansville and go out to number 4.
Evansville.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But did you know Willie?
Uh-huh.
You do?
Uh-huh. I know you.
Yeah, I just want to see that you know me. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, now I got to see what's your name now, because I forgot it.
This is Plummer, you remember?
Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah, I told you.
Gee, I'm glad to see you.
Yeah,
Shake your hand. I ain't seen you so long.
I saw you one morning on television.
Yeah.
Because Mose was living that time. I said, Mose, I saw CeDell on television this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I sure was. Yeah. Okay, this is my wife back here.
Oh,
Yeah.
How you doing? Tell me, oh, let me get back. You got that
Yeah. Well, yeah, do you remember W.C. Clay? You know, we called him Clay. You know, he used to play over down here on the broadcasting station a lot of times. You know, for a long time.
W.C. Clay?
Yeah. You know, he stayed down there on Flower Lake. Stayed down on Flower Lake, right there, not from Wilder Galler. You remember Wilder Galler?
Yeah,
You played
I
guitar.
remember Wilder.
Oh, well, he used to stay up the next house from Wilder Galler.
I think I do, but you know, ain't nobody down on Flower Lake now.
No?
There ain't nobody down there.
Oh, my goodness.
All them folks, you know, Michelle Wilson, he died, and when Michelle Wilson, Miss Sue died, them folks just got
Left
together.
there. And the house where Miss Adam, he stayed a long time ago, that Perkins house down there.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. Well, that's the house they're getting a film of.
Oh, no, they can't get no film. It's gone. Oh,
Yeah.
man, Hood, before he died, he tore all them old
And that's the
houses.
house I used to live in, and it's gone now, so I guess we won't be getting a film of it. What about that old house Miss Minnie Remley and them used to live in?
It's gone.
Oh, my goodness.
There ain't no houses back down there, man. See, after the peoples all moved out of them, they just tore them down and went to work in that land, putting beans and stuff in that land.
Oh, man, nothing, all that places is gone.
Besides, you just wanted to ride over today.
No, see, they want to get this film for television.
Oh,
Yeah, see, they want to get this for television, and I'm finishing up the film, at least, you know, I'm finishing it up, you know, I done did the other part.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the last go-round of this. So, and then I don't know when it's going to be shown on TV, but it will be. Yeah, do Mose Ross still live around here?
Uh-huh.
He do?
Yeah. Now, you go back out there and hit this flag. You remember that house used to set up on that hill down there?
Yeah.
Well, that's where Mose Ross stay up on
What
that
they used to call a big house.
Yeah, well, that's where Mose Ross
Oh,
stay.
yeah. Well, is that stove still down there?
It's down there, but it's not in operation.
Well, I know, but I just want to know if it's there so I won't get lost. It's been so long since I've been
Oh,
here.
yeah, that stove is still there, but Moses is up on that
Up on that hill, what's called a big house.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
then.
that's where Moses is.
All right, then. Sure glad I saw you.
I'm so glad I see you, too.
This is the store right here where I chopped corn down on the low end of the farm down there and made $5. It's the first store right here that I ever draw a paycheck right there, that store right there. $5. And I went out to Clayton's and bought me a cap, suspenders, and a pair of pants and everything. That got a whooping when I got back home. I stayed so late. But anyway, that was the store right there. Well, this is it. This is the blacksmith shop where they used to ring the bell before you get up in the morning at 4 o'clock. Ring it for 12, and ring it in the evening at 4 or 5 o'clock where you come in and bring the mule. See? Time to quit. And they hear that bell, they go to taking out the mules and bring them in. They had the bell all over the farm. See, this is not the only bell they had. Now, see, they had a bell on this end and the bell on the other end. See? That's the way it was. And, well, these abbots, you know what I mean, these abbots, and why I say abbots, because they saw to you having food and clear just a little money, you know, enough to keep you there. Well, you couldn't get rich here, I can tell you that now. No. No, you couldn't get rich here. But, you know, a lot of people loved it here. A lot of people just liked it here. Didn't think there's no other place like here. And some still think that. Now, look how long that girl lady been here. She was a girl born here, grew up here. Mose Ross was born here. Ike Ross was born here. Mose Ross still live here, and he's one of the oldest boys. He still live here.
You know the wind blows so lonesome, but don't nothing never blow my way. You know the wind blows so lonesome, but don't nothing never blow my way. You know I don't have nothing but bad luck and trouble every night and every day.
a shot of mold there. I want to talk to you a minute.
How you doing here?
Uh-huh. I'm in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
You here in Pine Bluff?
Yeah.
Did I come right?
Yeah, he writes me, but you know, this guy won't have right.
So
I write him a letter, now I notice, oh, Freddie. Oh, boy. Ain't this something?
Shoulder door, no.
Yeah, I know him a long time. I ain't kidding, boy, for no time. No.
You still playing?
Yeah.
What you play, guitar, harp too?
Guitar. No, I just play guitar long. I've got harp, but I don't harp too well.
So no.
Yeah.
Plummet told me once she seen you on the TV or
Yeah,
something.
I just talked to her a while ago.
Yeah, she told me she seen you.
Yeah, just talked to her a while ago. She's up there giving some green.
Yeah, she was on TV. Yeah, but that picture
Well, I
come
ain't
by
seen you,
that I
didn't know who
bagged
he
with, but
was.
I didn't know who you were.
Uh-huh.
What time you be on team? Both?
Yeah, I have been on 10 up there in Memphis. Yeah, I've been on 10 a bunch of times in Memphis.
So no.
Yeah. I'll be on
see
10
you didn't know
sometimes.
who you was.
Yeah, I'll be on 10 sometimes, and I'll be on 7 sometimes, 11. I had to go to New York and do around. I didn't get a chance to come.
Oh, you been up there?
Yeah, I just come back here. We got 13th of October. I ain't got to go back though until spring. You remember Debbie C. Clay?
Yeah. Huh? He been dead. Yeah, he been dead about three years or more. Yeah. He died in the office, thought they brought his body back right over there on the hill, you know,
Yeah.
as you go this way from over there. So he did, he dead up there.
This is the place where I went to school at. This was old Kyle Chapel School right here, where you see them bushes out there. That was Kyle Chapel School. We used to go to school there when I was 7 years old, 6 years old. I went up until I was about, I'd say 8 years old. Right there. All of it's done growed up now, and you can't hardly see where the school was. To walk here every morning, walk back home in the evening. The Rosses, Mose Ross, what we just talked to, he used to walk it with me, him and his brothers and sisters. All of us used to walk here to the school. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about house parties and what it was like back in those days. This house right back of me here, that's where Robert Nighthawk have played at, and for house parties. And this is the type of house, and some worse, that I have played here in Mississippi, right here on this same farm. And this is the place where people used to go on Saturday nights because they didn't have any other place to go. Because if they went to town, they could only stay in town until 9 o'clock, and then they come back out here until 12 at the most. They come back out here, and then they go to the house party, what they call jukes or dance. And this house in back of me is the type of house, and other houses of the same type, same description, that I played on the same farm and on other farms here in Mississippi. Okay, this house party, well, people would come out of town in like 9 and 10 o'clock like that, and they'd come to the house party. Many of them wouldn't go to town on Saturday night because they'd have more pleasure coming to a house party like this house here in the back of me here. You see, in that way, they wouldn't be worried about getting arrested or getting put in jail or whatnot. They just come in and have their fun until all night sometime, until daylight the next morning. And then maybe on a Sunday, they'd be there for all day Sunday night until time come for them to go in, and so they could go to work Monday morning. Sometimes it'd be 60 or 70 people be there, and sometimes it'd be less. You know, sometimes maybe be over 15 or 20. You know what I mean? But that's the, you know, people like to go to them house parties back then. Because I used to play for Atla King, live here on this place. See, I played a little bit. Willie Jackson run a little thing one time, a little bit, and I played a little bit there. So another fellow used to live here up in a place up there called Bob Ryder. He used to have a little something going there. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play that. Right up this road here, this little gravel road right in front of this store. Yeah, that was up this road here. A fellow called Richard Doodley. He had a place there. And I and James Trump was playing there. And there's another giant was down the same road to my right here. And they was having a dance, and so the boy come on up there where I was because wasn't nobody at his place. And they had a fight there that night, and guy got shot, and girl got shot. Okay, and there's another boy called Black Robert. He was sitting down side of me on the floor because I didn't drink whiskey. And you know, he sat down there, you know, because he played guitar. And then when people give me whiskey, I'd give it to him. And they got to fighting and shooting. And this boy jumped up from down side of me, and I don't know where he went. No, none of us never saw him no more from that day until this one. None of us never saw him again. And used to be a fellow there called Edgar. He had a big pistol in his pocket. He went and closed the door and said if anybody come in, he was going to shoot. And that had me hemmed up. And then I'd walk on crutches and had me hemmed up. Now I couldn't get nowhere. So I stayed inside the house, keep getting shot. Because about what I dozed, I knew I was going to get shot. So I stayed in the house. Well, see, the way it is, we used to be here in Mississippi was all the way bootlegging. There wasn't no license and anything like that you could get for selling whiskey around here on these farms and selling homebrew or beer or whatever you had. You had, you know what I mean, they mostly made the whiskey bootleg and made the homebrew, what they call homemade beer, and they'd sell that and, you know, to make their money. And run the dice game in the back, and that's how they cut off on the dice game. That's how they'd make a living. Like this house party is what we used to play here. Well, I played at a house party recently in Pine Bluff there for a fellow at Robert Love's house. And back then they played to make a little money off of whiskey and a little home brew. Well, he have a little wine and little beer, stuff like that, and make a little money on it whenever anybody come along that want any. And he'd buy wine for $1.05 a pint, and he'd sell it for $2. And he'd buy beer like 75 cents or 50 cents a can, and then he'd sell it for $1. Whiskey $1.35 half a pint, and he sell it for $3. And that's how you make him a little money.
Bootlegger.
Yeah, bootlegging.
You know, last night I could hear you calling me in my dream. You know, all last night I could hear you calling me in my dream. You know you're the best little woman, honey, baby, I ever seen. One get it all night long, don't cost them nothing. Hey, get up. You know I was late last night, baby, I hear you calling my name. You know I was late last night, I can hear you calling my name. Ever since you've been gone, baby, my life don't seem the same. All right, then. Go ahead. Let me see, can you do it right now?
The part in Pine Bluff, they was doing late dance. These late years, it wasn't doing the old time dance. Because they used to do a lot of two-step back when I was playing here. They don't do a lot of two-step, jitterbug and stuff like that. But they don't do that nowadays, not in house parties like in Arkansas.
How much more long coming down on coming prison farm. You know they're taking me to coming, yes they did. Yeah. Baby down on coming prison farm. I didn't have no money, baby. Baby, but you know I really didn't mean no harm. You know, the first day I was down there, baby, I learned that you don't First day I was down there, baby, I learned that you don't pray. Do you wake up early one morning, baby, you find yourself in an unknown way.
One of them fellas that was sitting there inside of me in the chair, his name was Son. Well, he been knowing me for a long time. And he just liked my music, and he always, whenever he can, if I'm around, and he can get there, he always come around and listen to me play, because he remember the times back. So even when I used to play, he used to come around me while I was playing at house party. And so wherever I be now, he'll always show up, because he likes that type of music. And many others are there, like Jimmy, he likes that type of music. Robert Love, Maxine, and Beaver, many others there. Burman, all of them like that type of music. That's why they be around there when I'm going to play. If they can get there, they do.
You know I'm talking about coming. Baby, I'm talking about coming prison farm. I'm talking about coming, oh yeah. I'm talking about coming prison farm. But again, never been down there. Baby, you know I'm not the only one. You know my grandmother got mad 'cause my grandfather didn't bring no coffee home. You know my grandmother got mad 'cause my grandfather didn't bring no coffee home. Well, he didn't bring her what she needed. You know the old lady knowed he was doing something wrong. She said, "Now, grandpa, what made you love my grandmother so?" She said, "Grandpa, dear, why you love my grandmother so?" You know she got the same sweet sugar she had 40 years ago. You know my grandfather got drunk and kept on walking up and down the street. You know my grandfather got kind of drunk. He was walking all up and down the street. You know what? You know my grandmother got kind of mad. He was shaking his pipe at every young girl he made.
go out to places, you know, like clubs and stuff like that, where they like to get to a private place and see where they can just, you know, kind of let the hair down, so to speak.
Here come the blues. The blues. What is it? That's the devil stuff. Oh, I got the way.
They had a good time, you know what I mean? They're still talking about it. You don't know when that's going to happen again. I can tell it.
You know, grandma, what makes you love my grandpa so? Grandma, what makes you love my grandfather so? You know why? You know the old man got the same pipe. The old man had 40 years ago. Hey! You know I got a sweet black angel. I love the way she spreads her wings. You know when she spreads her wings over me, she brings joy and everything. You know I love my black angel. I can't understand to see a woman walk down the street. You know I love my black angel. I can't hardly stand to see a woman walk down the street. You know, my baby gets so she upset. The woman I said every man she met.
Playing house parties is okay, but I don't like house parties too much because there's not enough money in it, and also people wants to fight so much when you play for house parties. And you gotta watch this stuff. You like the instrument, your guitar, don't forget the piece hung up in and tap your chords and all like that. They want to play your guitar and whatever your instrument you have, they want to play it and show off, you know, what they want, what they can do. Blues musicians don't play house parties no more now because there's not nothing in it. Yeah, it's died out now. People's left the farms and they moved to the cities, and the music went to the cities, such as Chicago, New York, California, and different places like that. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Well, there's not much, nothing going on now on the farm. Most of the houses are gone, the people are gone. The houses that I used to play in around here, they're just all gone. The house that I used to live in right down this road was facing me here to my right, that house is gone. When I first started playing, made did it both sides of the wall. That house is gone now. Nobody lives there no more. Back those days, now playing with Robert Nighthawk, to give you a good illustration of what it was like. You go to a place and play, and they didn't have much money as they do now, but they fix your supper for you, your dinner, and they fix your place to sleep and eat and stuff like that, and, you know, give you a nice time while you were there. And you come back home, your rent, you could pay your rent because it wasn't amount to much, and you could eat off of that little money. And things was good back then. You know, what I mean? People enjoyed it. Things was good back then, but it's still better now. Things was good. A lot of times you had to be careful about the places you worked, but still, they mostly always treat a musician nice. It never bother him, you know, the musician. But now, a lot of times if it get too rough, you'd have to get your stuff and get out. See? A lot of times police would come in and raid the places, and they never put the musician in jail. They just tell them take the stuff down, go back where they came from. You see, we just take down and leave. But other than that, we didn't have no trouble. Yeah, parties and joints and stuff like that, because they'd had a bootleg whiskey, and then they hadn't went up and talked to the police or the law or whatever you might call them about doing these things. A lot of people just go out and do it on their own, you know, consent. But you had to get consent from police or whoever you was, you know, living on this farm or whatnot. A lot of them didn't do that, and they get raided. Then you just have to take your stuff down and leave. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. Didn't make no lot of money, didn't make no big living, but it was a lot of fun. But nowadays, it's not for the fun, it's for the money and for the living. I'm a Delta blues musician. I play the blues the way it is. See, my type of blues that I play is, it tells a story about what we are doing right now, finding out about these places to play, like this house right there in front of me, and other places here, private homes that I played, and the things that people went through back in those days. Well, the songs of the blues is made concerning people that what they went through with back those days. It told the story of how they lived, what they, you know, what they could expect to live by, everything. It tells it all. Well, I had a rough childhood. I had a rough way to go when I was growing up. I didn't have, you know what I mean, I had it hard. And I decided when I was a kid that my destination, I know where I wanted to go, and I'm still trying. I know which way I wanted to go, because there's one thing about it. Everybody had to make their place in this world, and I had to make mine. Whether I could walk or not, I had to make my place in this world and find my own way, and I found it. So this is my way of doing things for myself. So learning to be a musician, it come to be a job, and also it's a living. My hopes for being a top-notch blues player seems to be going good. I've been New York, played New York, Boston, Massachusetts, played in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island. When I go back in the spring, I'll be going on tour again. I'll play some of them same places, but I will be playing more places. When I go back this time in the spring, I'll consider myself as a good musician, blues musician. I don't think nobody else has my style. I think I have a different style from any blues musician. And I think my style will take me over.